Welcome to Sacred Signal, short channeled messages for the collective. I'm Jessica, the one connecting to Source to share these messages, and I'm so grateful that you're here. These messages come through a practice of prayer and meditation and contemplation. They almost always arrive through automatic writing. I simply ask Source, what message would you share with me today? Then I quiet my mind, listen, and I write down what arrives, and I share those words in the spirit of reflection, connection, and love. As you listen, I invite you to use your own discernment, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust your own inner wisdom. Thank you for being here. Okay, so before I share today's messages, I'd like to tell you a little about how this all began. As I was preparing to record this first episode, I found myself wondering, what the heck would I say? I'd like to say that I was excited, but not really. Actually, I'm pretty nervous about it. Putting something so personal out into the world feels very vulnerable. So I did what I've learned to do. I became quiet. I went into meditation, and I asked Spirit what needs to be shared. What came through were 2 short messages, and those are the messages that you'll hear today. My journey with automatic writing actually began, I guess to make a long story short, began after watching a Lee Harris YouTube video where he shares how to learn to channel for yourself. And something about it resonated deeply, and I felt called to explore that practice. It didn't happen overnight. For weeks, I sat down consistently with a notebook and simply practiced listening. Nothing happened at first. Then several more weeks went by and my hand began to move, and it would move across the page and basically scribble. And that's what I had for a long time, was just scribbles. Oddly enough, during that time, the word that kept coming to me was calibration. And I had a knowing that my body, my mind, and the energy I was connecting with were learning how to work together. Slowly, those scribbles became letters. The letters became words and eventually messages. Even now, the messages are usually quite short, but I have noticed that the more consistently I return to the practice, the more naturally they seem to unfold. Whether you see these messages as inspiration, intuition, prayer, or something else entirely, I invite you to listen with an open heart. Definitely use your own discernment and notice what resonates. Okay, so here is what came through with the first message. Welcome, dear ones, to Sacred Signal. Here we will share with you short channeled messages for your spiritual guidance. Take with you what resonates and leave what does not. Know that you are loved, and this is why we share with you. With love, always. Okay, so that was the first one. And I just want to share with you, when I first began receiving these messages through automatic writing, I was definitely not looking to become a teacher or anything like that. I was simply trying to develop my own gifts, my own gifts personally. And I did that through a practice of listening and meditation. Over time, however, I realized that in order to grow my gifts, I have to share them. The energy needs to move through me so it doesn't get stuck, so to speak. These messages weren't asking me to convince anyone of anything. They were inviting me to share them, trusting that whoever needed them would find them. My hope in sharing these messages is not to tell you what to believe. It's to remind you of something you may have forgotten. And so with that, here is the second message that came through. My hope in sharing this is to remind you of your own forgotten divinity. You don't have to believe or agree with everything. Use your own discernment and find what resonates with you. Does it push you toward love and unity, or fear and division? Does it remind you that you are a divine part of creation, or does it make you feel separate and alone? If you are finding the love, unity, and connection, then you are in the right place. If anything puts you in fear, division, or separation, then you are not in the right place. As always, with love. Okay, so whether one of these sentences stayed with you or the entire message spoke to you, I hope at least you leave with a renewed sense of connection to your own inner wisdom. From here on, I will be sharing the messages chronologically, just as they were received through my automatic writings. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I believe that wisdom speaks through many voices, many traditions, many experiences. These messages are simply one way of listening. Whether you return each week or only visit from time to time, my hope is that every sacred signal offers a moment to pause, to breathe, and to remember that the sacred is never far away. Thank you for beginning this journey with me. If these messages resonate with you, I invite you to continue the journey and like and subscribe. If you'd like to support this work, I will share a link where you can make a donation in the show notes. You could also purchase one of my notebooks for sale on Amazon if you enjoy journaling. I'll share that link as well. Every act of support helps this community to continue to grow and allows these messages to reach those who may need them. Until next time, listen deeply, trust what resonates, walk gently, and remember, the sacred is always speaking, with love always.